like as if like these cups are going to spill and people aren't going to get along, or this story isn't going to work out very well. This is hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. All right, so Capricorn, hello, I'm Kristen, and I'm a healer. For this video, you are going to get a full rundown of Capricorn's energy for not only the Virgo full moon, but just for the remainder of March and how it affects you and your placements. I begin with the astrology and I end with a card reading. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and would like to become a client of mine, you can do so by joining this link here and also in the bio. I welcome you. And as you all know, I am a global citizen and I love connecting with all of you on a worldly and global level. So if you have not already, please let me know where you're listening from in the comments and we can all connect and be a strong collective. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. So Capricorn, hi. I apologize for the noise if you can hear it. I'm kind of trying to catch daylight right now. So the thing about the remainder of March, the thing about this Virgo full moon, Capricorn, this is very releasing for you. It's very healing for you. And it's strange because normally a full moon can come with an intensity, a heaviness. But Capricorn, go back to revisiting September of last year. And September of last year saw you having to project plans for yourself that were about bigger thoughts, thinking outside the box, bigger perspectives. And how is it that you can take let's say a different approach in how far you could go in your life and what it is that you could achieve for yourself. Virgo sits in your ninth house, and your ninth house is about understanding, again, bigger beliefs, expanded thoughts, travel, adventure, philosophies, the things that were rooted in how you felt like you could have more for yourself, the dreams and the goals and the aspirations that you set out for yourself. And this was what you did in terms of starting in September, and that energy pushed you over with the Virgo new moon as you stepped into your Capricorn Pluto, when Capricorn reverted back into your Pluto placement, and it was all eyes on you again. It was all about who you were, how you did things, and how you were showing up in the world in that way. And now obviously here we are back with Virgo now being in the full moon, the closure of this 6-month chapter, but we are in a different Pluto transit. We are in a different generation. We're also in a different North Node, as well as Pisces is sitting in the North Node. So everything has changed, and you're now able to look back on the last 6 months and see the plans that you have projected for yourself and how they have come full circle, and how you have come full circle, and that the way in which you saw yourself kind of like casting a line out into the future and then reeling in what it is that you wanted to achieve for yourself. The last 6 months for you, Capricorn, have been, I wouldn't say they've been easy in that way. The first, for the ending 2024, ending the year of karma, was not an easy time. It wasn't so simple, let's just say, right? To whereas here we are in the year of the 9, and the year of the 9 released you. 2025 was here to release you as you stepped out of the shadow period of Capricorn being in Pluto. So things have been lightening up, and this Virgo energy is again a more light energy. It's an energy that wants to lighten the load, lighten the energy, release you again. And so you're able to see that what it is that you set out for yourself. A lot of you are manifesting. A lot of you are saying, you know what? I want something further out, especially when it comes to travel or moving, being able to settle in a new space, being able to settle in a new neighborhood, a new environment, a new place that you call home. but having to like set out and pioneer in that, and the way in which these ideas have been crystallizing and stabilizing over the past 6 months, and also the plans and the projections you had for your love life and the plans and projections you had for your career. Overall, you set out, like I said, with a pole into the ocean, and you pulled back in. You sat there for a while and said, I want a big fish, and I want a koi fish, and I want I, not that I condone the idea, but do you get what I mean? I wanted these beautiful, rare creatures, and you set your line out, and now those things have found you in that way. And it's a time to celebrate yourself for the things that you've been able to accomplish, and also how it feels to be out of your Pluto, to be in a new reality, to be in a new experience, and pat yourself on the back for that. Pat yourself on the back for how that must feel. And the freedom that gives, the awareness that brings to you as well, So that's the thing when it comes to this full moon. If we look back at that time, like I said, normally you guys know I venture back to the month prior. But in this case, I really want to just focus on the 6-month change, because there's been a lot of change. And for you, it's been a lot of release and a lot of healing and a lot of letting go. This year in general is about you guys really having to understand how to let the light in, and how to allow old wounds to be healed and old dark corners to be cleaned out and the dust to be removed, and also thinking more positively about things that you would have normally thought negatively about, things that you thought would have had negative outcomes or negative projections, being able to see that there is positive possibility. Your energy has been quite back and forth, I would say, especially for those of you who are Cancer dominants. You could have been going, in a little bit of a transitional energy in terms of getting things done and trying to really bring full circle who it is that you are. If you balance between Capricorn and Cancer, you could have, you in specific are going through a big change in terms of how the divine wants to change the way you work and the way you show up in work. And then the balance between the two because of the Cancer-Mars transit. And again, the way that Aquarius wants to come in and tell Capricorn to relax more, to put their feet up more, to understand wealth more, to understand that there is a better way to go about achieving its new goals. And these things happen along with this full moon as well. It's like you're just able to see a more relaxed truth for yourself, which is very, very nice. I would say, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to discuss for the end of March. It is important to understand that March is also being finished with a new moon. So we're not stepping out of March without in just the full moon energy. We're going to be ending March in a new moon as well. And that new moon will be happening in Aries, which brings a renewal again in your 4th house. So how you are comfortable at home right now, Mercury is retrograde in Aries and Venus is retrograde in Aries, awakening your relationship to your 4th house, your identity, who it is that you are, your personality. You guys have really been feeling the lighter side of the Aries and Chiron finally, and this is leading you up into Aries, stepping into Saturn in May, and this is getting you to understand what is home, what is family, who is home, who is family, what relationships do you really want to settle in, where do you want to live, and how much do you want to love yourself, feel comfortable in yourself. This is a merger between Aquarius, Pluto, wanting to heighten and enlighten you in terms of your wealth and what you deserve, and the comforts that are provided in the 4th house that say, I am home and I want to feel comfortable and I want to feel nurtured, but I want to feel nurtured in who it is that I am. I want to feel nurtured at the bare bones of my truth, and then I want that to be reflected in my wealth. I tend to talk a lot about the dance between what Capricorn is going through with Aquarius, Pluto, and Aries still being in Chiron, and that's still shaking you up, is it's like the relationship between Taurus and Cancer. And if you ever, saw a stereotypical, archetypal energetic relationship between a Cancer and a Taurus, is the fact that it's all about comfort. It's all about home. It's family. It's what feels the most natural, what feels the most authentic. And it is truly the couple of wealth in that way, but the kind of wealth that is quiet, the wealth that is about home dinners and dinner parties and your garden and entertaining people that you genuinely love and genuinely care about. And the way that you make your money is really just there so that you can entertain the things that matter the most to you, which is the people that you love. And Capricorn can really benefit from this in terms of how the divine is trying to tell you to be less of a pioneer in the 10th house who wants to be seen a certain way and status and working really hard and the grind in that way, and pulling back to a space of this is what wealth really is like. This is what really matters, instead of chasing something more individual. Let's say that. So anyway, Capricorn, you're going to see a lot more releasing happening for you for the month of March. Your manifestations blossoming, you becoming more relaxed, you understanding how to work through this new relaxation as well. Because like I said, that Mars in Cancer was a doozy because it was trying to teach you how to work from a space that was more emotional and more honoring the self in that way. And then how to honor your relationships as well. So take in all of this change and all this transformation, and don't beat yourself up as you're learning how to do things differently. Okay? So that's what I've got for you. To be honest, I think I have to end quickly because the sounds are too much for me. But I love you. And I will see you in the reading. Ciao. All right, so Capricorn, here we are with your Virgo. Well, this isn't your Virgo full moon reading per se. It's pertaining to the Virgo full moon, but also just the remainder of the month. Capricorn, the biggest thing I feel going on here is you, because we have you here with the devil, which usually, in my opinion, for Capricorn is quite beautiful because you are the devil. You are the goat with the horns in that way, let's just say. But with this sitting side by side with the Grim Reaper, Four of Wands backing that up with photograph. And then what we see in the shadow, I have to be very blunt and say some of you, especially because what I see at the bottom of the decks that I will show you later, for many of you, you're dealing with relationship issues, romantic relationship issues, okay? There is a bond, there is a tie that needs to be broken. There is a person that you need to disconnect from. There's a relationship that you need to realize is over. And the reason why I say you, Capricorn, now, this energy of the devil is cross-sectional, okay? It is you and the other. It is an obsessive energy. It's an attached energy. And Capricorn, when you hold on, similar to your opposite, the crab, when you hold on to something, Capricorn, you can hold on to it for life. You can obsess. You can be chained, tied down, like we see with the devil, very, like the bird sitting there with the chain around its neck, very much attached to whatever it is that you believe. And a lot of the time that can keep you down in a very, very dark place. And you need to realize, as well as whomever it is that is also attached to you, that the relationship needs to end. The tie, the bond needs to end. Okay. Now, this can be literal for you guys, or this can be an attachment to the past. It can be an attachment to the idea of what has happened in the past, the ideas of the hurt and the pain that you have experienced in the past, the attachment to the darkness of an attachment, the attachment to the darkness of a previous attachment. And this is here backed up again by the Four of Wands with making new memories. It's like you need to let go of what has kept you attached. And I apologize for saying the same words, but you guys know I have to just flow with it. And oftentimes when I flow, I repeat myself, okay? But you have to let go of this tie. And it is blocking you from being able to have happiness. It's blocking you from being able to have celebration. It's blocking you from being able to start over. Okay? You need to make new memories. You need to align with a new chapter. In very simple terms, this is, especially romantically, especially if it's literal, it's literally you letting go of one very bounded union that you have and welcoming in another, aligning with another, attaching yourself to another, and making a new story. At this time, you are writing a new story. Like I mentioned in the astrology portion, it's important to understand that during this time, you are revisiting September of last year and many of the experiences that went on during that time. And that was a big time for you, Capricorn. It just was. September of 2024 was a big time. And it was you stepping back into your Pluto placement, but from a place that was much more lighthearted. And there was so much movement during that time. It is the closure of that. Whatever it is that was weighing upon your head during that time, or whomever it was that was weighing upon your head during that time, you need to release it and let go. It is time to make new memories. For a lot of you, it is, especially because we see relax the hold of darkness, be at cause, which she feels, she knows. It's like you are bound. Let it go. Heal it. Let it go. Because if this is a relationship for you, a part of the attachment, a part of the obsession that you have to this person or people, okay, is the way in which it brings you kind of into a darker place. It's like your attachment to the toxic, like to the things that burn, to the things that hurt, okay? And let go. And if they're holding on to you, which they can be, okay? Like I said, this energy feels mutual. So whether it's romantic relationships or whatever it is a mutual energy. And it feels very personhood. So regardless of who is holding on to you, you need to let go. You need to release that bond. And trust in yourself, which she feels she knows. Trust in your intuition. Trust in the direction that you're in. Trust in the path that is playing out ahead of you. Okay, that path, the path that's playing out before you. When we look at what's going on in the shadow, we see the Three of Cups in reverse with Calabash in reverse as well. And so Three of Cups, which is the Three of Calabash in reverse. So when you see these two energies, it's like what it is that you fear. What is in the shadow? What I like about the shadow right now is the fact that they are minors. And in the subject, we have majors. We have the devil. Just one major, but still it's very strong. It's overpowering the entire reading, which is you. But you are not empowered in this place. I am not going to lie to you, Capricorn. This feels like the things that keep you chained, like I mentioned. So the good thing is in your shadow, it's more like you're saying, I don't want to be a part of a third party dynamic. You're saying that I do not want to not receive a cup of love, let's say, something that is cohesive and moving forward, because we see both of them in reverse. So it's like you fear that you're not going to receive what it is that you want. You're fearing that you're not going to get what it is that you desire. And also that there won't be social cohesion playing out as well with the Three of Cups in reverse. Like as if these cups are going to spill and people aren't going to get along, or this story isn't going to work out very well. This isn't going to be a good experience. And you fear that. And you also fear the cup of love spilling over altogether. If you want to attach yourself to some kind of group of people, believing that that is the only way you're going to find happiness, or again, wanting to attach yourself to multiple people romantically, that is not going to serve you during this time. You have to let go, okay? To allow yourself to celebrate and create a new story, write a new story. Let's look at the healing points here. Okay, so Pearl of Shapiro is a water energy. Okay, and what I like about it being a water energy is because it's allowing you to heal, especially that it's sitting next to relax the hold of darkness, to be at cause. Heal. Taking responsibility for your experiences, Capricorn, with you being the devil, being one of the most beautiful things about being the devil is that when you are a Capricorn and you see the devil on the deck, and usually the devil scares many other people, but it doesn't have to scare you because it is you. The things that keep you addicted and keep you stuck are things that you have the courage to push yourself beyond, okay? By taking radical responsibility. And one thing you guys don't shy away from is responsibility. Taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are taking You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. You will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access the wealth of divine treasure. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. Have courage and commitment to your awakening. You are a precious being and can go far on the spiritual path in this time. And then after that is the beautiful, and I'm going to get into something else in a second, but underneath that is the beautiful 888. Your heart has a heightened connection with the higher realms of consciousness and light. A blessing, empowerment, and positive omen shall enter your world. Doors will open for you. Abundance and prosperity are headed your way. Take care of your heart. Ask for spiritual assistance and it shall be granted. Something negative is going to transform into something positive. Capricorn, that is double confirmation on the fact that something dark is going to become something light. Something dark is becoming something light. Okay? What you are going to feel for the remainder of the month, something dark is going to submit. Okay? And it's because it's coming from you taking responsibility and honoring your heart. What I love about 888 is because it's like the beautiful omen of Leo energy. And Leo energy is full of vitality, positivity, joy in that way. It is the heart. Leo does represent the heart. Okay. And when the two come together, it is that balance between what does it mean to both be responsible, like the 10th house and the 5th house. What does it mean to be both responsible and yet and still in your mode of pleasure, where the two merge with each other? Okay. It is your responsibility. It is your divine right, okay, to take the responsibility you need to detach yourself, because this devil energy is strong. And like I said, it doesn't feel so positive, but it's still empowering because it's still you. Taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are the most empowered when you're in the devil energy. This is you at your highest form of abundance when you're in the devil energy. When you can take on anything. You can start any business. You can triumph through. You can push through when you're in that energy, okay? So it's saying, have the power to let go. It's over. Let it be over. This grow and transform your life is a very good thing because, like I said, it's here backed up by photograph with 4 of Wands. It's like there is so much to celebrate here, especially if it's romantic. There is a union here. There is a love here. There's a beautiful new story for you to experience. Relax the hold of darkness. Be at cause. Release your attachment. If this is now because like I said, at the end of the day, this is a people conversation. So if it's not romantic and it's a social group, if it's a group of friends, whatever it is, the way you choose to socialize, okay, the way you're thinking of social communication, you are way too attached to, let's say, the other people around you, and the fear comes from you not being able to get along or, again, have social cohesion or be a part of the conversation, be a part of the clique or whatever it may be. Let go. These bonds are over. There are new things on the horizon, and it's not like you're just jumping up and choosing something that doesn't exist. This 4 of Wands lets me know that it's just a choice. It's just one step to the other. Let the one go and walk into the new. Let the old ideas go and walk into the new ideas. You are your obstacle for the remainder of March. It's you. It's you versus you. And what it is that your own darkness and your own shadow will hold on to. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we've got the Page of Wands. So it seems the overarching energy during this time is, again, action. This action, it's a minor arcana, which is good, but it's what actions are you taking? What passions are you moving toward? What revitalizes you? Who revitalizes you? It's a fiery, fresh, youthful energy. Passion. At the bottom of the clarity deck, we have healing heart. And this is kind of what I was saying about what I see going on for a lot of you who are in particular, where it's particularly with love. But everyone, You're healing from heartbreak. You're freeing from toxic relationships or addictions. Breaking free from addictions, from bonds, from toxic bonds and ties. That is the overarching energy. It's ending. It's over. Your own negativity got you here, even if it's a person, okay? Your own attachments, addictions, darkness, low vibrational energy, whatever it is what got you here, and you need to let go. And the only thing that'll be sacrificed is you feeling like, oh, well, will I be accepted? Or will I get this cup of love? Or will I do all these things? Especially if you think that this is in the hands of just one specific individual, you are wrong, Capricorn. It's clear and very much here that whatever it is that is making you happy, that can make you happy, that says create a new memory, is something that's already in your path. It's something that's already in your life. It's a person that's already in your life. It can be a group that's already in your life. You have to let go. Who will you move forward with? Free from judgment, free to love. And most of this judgment lies with you. You. Releasing the dark chains that you attach to yourself, to you. At the bottom of the healing points here, we have epsilon modulation. And I believe this is an air energy. So we've got water, telling you to heal, telling you to release, telling you to move. Okay, while you allow taking responsibility, moving through your emotions to allow what was dark to submit to the light. We have the fire energy, the Leo energy that is telling you to allow this to passionately move through you, especially because we had the Page of Wands clarifying what was going on with Tarot. Okay, so this is again, two things telling you, you have to change the way you are looking at it. You have to change the way it has happened. You have to break the chain. Let the light in. Gather your energies and go within to regenerate. This is the overarching energy. Let your actions match your rhythms rather than trying to force yourself to keep pace with external cues. Commit to your own natural timing and pace. As you ground and connect to your center, you will realize your spiritual power to be at cause in any situation of concern. You have such a goodness and light within you. Let go of shaming or blaming. Embrace the spiritual beauty within. Capricorn, again, this brings me back to my point. It's you. It's not them, it's you. And I love you, Capricorn, okay? But it's not in the hands of anyone else. This beautiful submission of light is something you have to allow. You're the one that is sitting with judgment. You're the one that needs to let the love in. You're the one that needs to release. Now, for a select few of you, this can be the way you are choosing to look at something. But again, it's because of something from the past or someone from the past. It's time to transform your life. It's time to submit and surrender. At the bottom of the shadow, we had the overarching energy as Ia Cutlass in reverse. So again, the fear that you're not doing the right thing, not making the right decisions, that's the overarching energy. Am I making the right decision? Because if I decide to cut loose with this, if I decide to cut ties with this, if I decide to break these chains, will I still have fun? Will I still be able to, sorry, but for some of you, keep my options open? What if I do not receive this emotional new beginning that it is that I'm looking for? If I don't leave all these doors open? What if I'm not making the right decision? I do not want to make the wrong decision. That's the dialogue. Let's get some clarity. Doing, thinking, feeling, being. Doing, thinking, feeling, being. Excuse me. Doing, thinking, feeling, being. I wonder what card that was. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. Behind that was the Death. That was that second card there. Up. My apologies. Doing, thinking, feeling. I'm making mess here. Being. Okay. Funny how that three of cups found us again. The Three of Cups found us again. So it seems that which you fear is just that which you need to embody. So you no longer fear it. So when it comes to what it is that you need to be doing, Capricorn, you need to be very specific on making these judgment calls. Clear on the decisions that you are making. Clear on your perspectives and how it is that you want to see things. It's not being judgmental, but it's not being afraid to, again, make a judgment call, sound the horn. That's a major arcana. That's a very big deal in terms of what it is that you need to be doing. It is time to make big decisions, Capricorn. And those big decisions are about how you will release the darkness that is sitting inside of you, how you will let go of the low vibrational attachments, thoughts, and perspectives that are keeping you bound or attached to someone or something. Feeling, we've got the Two of Swords. Trust in what it is that you feel, not in what it is that you see. Trusting your intuition. Closing your eyes, especially if it's for those of you that are dealing with relationships, closing those eyes to what you think it is or who you think they are, and trusting in what it is that you feel. Trusting deep in what it is that you feel. Does your spirit take this person, Capricorn? That's the question. A lot of the times we can be blinded by what it is that we think we see. Person or people. We have the Seven of Pentacles next. What it is that's the right track. How is it that you will stay on the right track? Being focused on what does it mean to be on your path? Okay. What does it mean to remain steady on your path? Making sure nothing steers you away from that goal point and keeping you on this steady path forward. Okay. And lastly, who is it that you need to be is the Three of Cups. Be the person that is taking dominance in these social realms. The person that wants social cohesion, the person that wants things to work together. For a lot of you who are going through the social death, which is of no surprise here because of what's going on with Piscean energy. The Piscean energy merging with the Aries energy, it's social change. So yes, it can show up in the form of a romantic relationship. It can show up with colleagues, friends. But what is going on the outside is simply reflective of what's happening within. It's you breaking up with the old you, or your old habits or your old addictions, to create a whole new social paradigm, a whole new way of having fun, a whole new way of having relationship cohesion, a whole new way of working well with people, and especially embodying the Three of Cups energy for those of you who really do have to close out relationships that do not want to close. Lightening up your energy, brightening up your energy, having a brighter, lighter perspective. Not one that is keeping you heavy, not one that is keeping you bound. Let go of blaming and shaming, like I said previously. So this is not the blame of any other. This is you. It's your perception that needs to change. It's your perception that is the driving force behind you possibly letting people go, letting those toxic ties go, letting those chains go. And for a lot of you, your addiction can simply be negative thought, negative perception. Again, not being able to relax the hold of darkness and be at cause, be centered. So deep and overwhelmed. I'm surprised we didn't see the Nine of Swords here. So it's a big change. It's a big shift in energy. You're getting a new form of clarity. You're getting new perspective on something. And also can be someone. Release and let love live here. Let go of your sense of judgment and judgment toward other people. Judgment of other people, Capricorn. All right, so that's what I have for you the rest of March. A lot of healing and letting go, a lot of healing and releasing. And at the bottom of the tarot deck, of the clarity deck, like I said, we had the Magician. And then underneath that other card that almost wanted to come out was the Death card. So again, more major arcana. Change, creation. You are creating a new paradigm, a new way of seeing, a new way of being by releasing your old darkness. Okay? So I love you. Ciao.